Hey, everybody. Want to just share a few thoughts with you today. Been in the educational field for almost 25 years, and I've worked in an urban setting, and I've worked in the elementary, middle, and high school levels. I've also been a coach. And one of the things, and I've been an administrator. So one of the things that has helped me become a better educator, better to work with kids, I feel, is this. Early on in my career, especially in the classroom, sometimes in a classroom, the bottom line is that some students are going to be disruptive sometimes. Okay, what I mean by disruptive is that maybe like you're teaching a class, maybe you're up at the board teaching, maybe maybe you have the students taking a test or doing something or maybe they're in a group. Maybe, maybe you want them to be quiet, maybe you don't. Maybe you want them to just be working in a group and they can be talking. But you're going to have students who are off task, who are not on task, who are disrupting whatever the situation is you're doing. Okay, and how you handle that is going to determine like how the interaction between you and that student is going to go. Okay, I mean, you could ignore it and just allow the student to continue to disrupt and hope that they stop. Sometimes that works. Early on in my career, I used to confront students and I found myself getting into like kind of like arguments with them. Okay, kind of like power struggles. And one of the things that I felt helped me become a better educator is self-reflection. This is when like I went home at night and let's say I had an incident with a student where we got into like a kind of like a heated argument, a debate, which, early on in teachers in our careers and educators' careers, this can happen because we just we don't have the strategies sometimes we don't have the strategies in our toolbox yet to handle those situations. So self-reflection helped me. So I would go home at night and say, okay, this little guy, this guy and I, this girl or this student got into an argument with this student. And I allowed myself to get into an argument with this student. Okay, and then the rest of the class is kind of like an audience. Okay, I mean they're making noises, ooh, ah, you can hear that, and now you and the student are going back and forth. And let's say it gets to the point where the student, you as the teacher, you have the ultimate authority in the classroom. So now, I mean, you have the power. The teacher has the power to now I'm going to write a discipline referral for the student, and the student's going to basically lose the situation in a lot of cases because a lot of times the teacher's in charge in the classroom. Okay, but I became a better educator when I started to go home at night and say, and this is in regards to my lesson planning and in regards to handling of students and disciplinary actions. When I went home at night and I said, hey, got into an argument with a student, we went back and forth, but I'm going to have to deal with that same student again tomorrow or next week or for the rest of the year. How could I, as the adult, do better in that situation so that I'm not getting into an argument with the student in class? Even though that same student might come back and have issues again in my classroom, how can I handle it better? What am I going to do differently than what I did yesterday so that I'm not arguing with that student? Because when I argue with the student, it's going to hurt the environment of the class. It's going to hurt the relationship between that student and I, and it's also going to increase my stress level. So how can I, as the adult, as the professional in the situation, What can I do so that when I encounter that same situation tomorrow, these are the strategies that I will use that will help to diffuse that situation in a positive fashion so that we're not arguing. Okay, so I'm kind of like controlling the situation, but I'm choosing to self-reflect. I'm choosing to re-examine the situation. I'm choosing to visualize situations like that before they happen, so that I already have strategies in my head how I'm going to handle it, so that the outcome is positive. So that now little Johnny is not being sent to the office because we got into a power struggle. So I feel like I became a better educator when I learned to self-reflect. I feel the same way about my lesson planning. Okay, when it came to lesson planning, hey, I did this lesson yesterday. I did this lesson last year, and this is how it went last year. This is what I will do differently the next time I do that lesson, so that the light bulb will go off in those kids' heads. Okay, because maybe it didn't go off the way I wanted it to. But I felt like I became a better educator when I learned to self-reflect daily. Even self-reflect, let's say you have a 5-6 period day where you're teaching 6 different classes, but you're teaching the same lesson over and over again all day. Self-reflect each lesson. Hey, when I do that next period, I might add this. Next third period, I might add this. By the time you get to 5th, 6th period, that lesson might be a lot better than it was the first period. See, but self-reflection can help you be a better educator, help you be better working with kids, help you be a better planner. It'll build you into a better person if we self-reflect on our daily encounters with students, our daily interactions with students. We self-reflect on our attitude that we carry into the building. We self-reflect on the way we dress, or whatever it is that we want to focus on. Just self-reflect as an educator, and it will in my opinion, it'll make you a better educator. Let me know what you think. What are some strategies you used to make yourself a better educator? What are some things that you have done to become a more positive educator, to make your experience and the students' experience better in your classroom or in your building as an administrator, or as a principal, or thing like that? Interesting to know. Thank you.